Hey there. So tonight I'm going to begin the Gentle Art of Tramping by Stephen Graham. I discovered this book as a result of reading, what was it? Oh, it was Annie Dillard's book, The Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, which I've since finished. Really, really liked it. Spent a whole day on Sunday collecting the quotes from that book. Let's start. I should have typed out what the name of the first chapter was. We'll get to that. So the book opens is very nice. It's a hardbound edition, small, compact. What does it say on the back? An absolute gem of a book. Alistair Humphreys, Micro Adventures. Might have to check that out. First published in 1926, The Gentle Art of Tramping is as relevant now as then. Tramping is an approach to nature, to humankind, to nations, to beauty, to life itself. This lost classic is a breath of fresh air for world-wearied souls. It is a gentle art. Know how to tramp and you know how to live. Know how to meet your fellow wanderer, how to be passive to the beauty of nature, and how to be active to the wildness and its rigor. The adventure is not getting there, it's on the way. It's not the expected, it is the surprise. Interesting, that didn't necessarily jump out at me. But let's see what else there is. There's the opening the book, which has a beautiful kind of a scene of a guy standing there with the road before him, and there's somebody waving at him. Open it up, and there's lots of different like handwritten notes. Route 3, Route 4, Saturday, Sunday, train. So it's like a journal entries. Let's see what this is. The Gentle Art of Tramping by Stephen Graham. Good, it opens with a quote. I like books that open with a quote. I like it when an author has reflected upon their own ideas and found those ideas in others. It's interesting when that happens. My secret's in the wind and open sky. There is no longer any time to lose. The world is young with laughter. We can fly among the imprisoned hours as we choose. The rushing minutes pause, an unused day breaks into dawn and cheats the tired sun. The birds are singing, hark, come out and play. There is no hurry, life has just begun. That doesn't jump out at me either. And it doesn't mean that it's not good, it just means that it doesn't touch me. What is it? My secret's in the wind and open sky, there's no longer any time to lose. Yeah. The world is young with laughter, we can fly among the imprisoned hours as we choose. Imprisoned hours, the few years, the time of our life, we can choose how to use that. The rushing minutes pause, an unused day. I suddenly have this reflection. Today is like a dawn, is an unused day. Breaks into dawn and cheats the tired sun. The birds are singing, hark, come out and play. There is no rush, life has just begun. I don't know, it seems like a kind of I get the sentiment, right? You know, we're suddenly recognizing that, our life is short and deciding one day to seize the day. Yeah, it's kind of seems kind of cliche. Contents. There's a foreword and then a chapter we set out. It looks like the foreword is by the author. Let's see, if it's by the author, I'll read it. If it's by somebody else, I might not. I think it's by the author. Here we go. Foreword. I spent over 6 years abroad on adventures before it ever occurred to me to explore my own country. Like many young people, I found the place where I grew up to be stultifying and infuriating. I wanted out, so I did my time by bike and boot and backpack, exploring the ends of the earth. Along the way, I discovered that I loved simplicity, endurance, wilderness, and eccentricity. I traveled myself restless. Learned that I would always suffer from wanderlust and struggle with the routines of normal life. First sentence complete, first paragraph. So as a young person, this is in the 20s, I think, right? Hi, Ollie, come on in. So as a young person in the 20s or so, he was kind of feeling, frustrated where he was and wanted to move on and explore, and did, by bike, boot, and backpack, exploring the ends of the earth. I wonder where he went. Along the way, I discovered that I loved simplicity, endurance, wilderness, and eccentricity. Interesting choice of words. Simplicity, endurance, wilderness, and eccentricity. Yeah, I like those things too. I traveled myself restless. Interesting. Let's go. I used to think I was weird. That at regular intervals I needed to turn off my computer and go to sleep. What? Computer? Wait a minute. So this is not the author, because this book was written in 1926. So this is somebody else. Who are you that's writing this? I used to think I was weird, that at regular intervals I needed to turn off my computer and go sleep on a hill for the night, or just run howling into the nearest woodland river. And perhaps that is a little odd. But stumbling upon Stephen Graham back in 2011 assured me that at least I was not alone. Now that's a familiar sentiment, right? Suddenly discovering that you're not alone in this kind of wanderlust, this interest in exploring. Sorry. First published in 1926, The Gentle Art of Tramping, that is a good title, suffers a little with its title. The modern reader would do well to swap the words tramping for hiking. No, I like tramping. Backpacking, or simply being outdoors. It is essentially a fabulous how-to guide to all of these things, combined with wry humor, philosophical musings on living a full life, and enjoyably dated advice on gear. Here's a sample. A collar and tie may be secreted in a pocket of the knapsack to be unwillingly put on when it is necessary to visit a post office or a bank, a priest or the police. But otherwise, we go forth with free necks and throats, top button of shirt preferably undone. There you go. Now, so the first little bit of passage there from the book itself, I like that writing. So, I don't know, I'm tempted to skip through this foreword, but there's only 2 more pages of the foreword. Let's see what else they've got to say. And I don't like the way that description, the way that was kind of describing that one piece, like you just transfer the words to the other. Just let it be. Natty says, tramping, the recreational... Hi there. I keep forgetting to check the comments. Natty says, computer, aha, yeah. Gave it away, not the author. Tramping, the recreational activity of going for long distance walks in rough country via Oxford. Yeah, I think most of us know that. I don't think you needed to necessarily explain that. Just spit it out. Just say it. Say this stuff, and if we're curious enough, we'll look it up, right? So how's my tea? Here we go. The modern day adventurer, this is back to whoever's doing the foreword. The modern day adventurer, all shiny Gore-Tex and smartphones, will find little useful equipment advice, but will enjoy Graham's recommendations from almost a century ago. I get exasperated with how often people ask me about equipment needs for going on adventures, as if it is only possible to leave the office in gear more fitting to the Himalayas. Graham's advice here is pertinent. The less you carry, the more you will see. The less you spend, the more you will experience. Okay, we got another sample from Graham, another sample from the author. I like that. The true pleasure from the gentle art of tramping is how much of the lifestyle Graham espouses is still relevant today. Perhaps even more so in this crazy era of constantly being busy. He urges us to escape, if only for a weekend, the constraints of careers we hate, to cease to be identified, here's quoting Graham again, to cease to be identified by one's salary or by one's golf handicap. It is a simple thing, though many of us build it up to seem prohibitively complex, to get out of the city into an air that is refreshing and free. You liberate yourself from the tacit assumption of your everyday life. Now, the person writing the foreword is here and there just peppering in quotes from Graham himself. You can really tell the difference. I have, since 2011, derived so much calmness and enjoyment from small, simple acts such as spending a night in the open air, following my nose cross-country for a day or a week, and, perhaps most of all, from seeking out refreshing swims wherever I go. There you go. Graham, too, was a convert, recognizing that the morning swim is such an embellishment of the open-air life that many are tempted to plan their whole expedition with that in view. Now I think that was worth the purchase of the whole book right there, that little sentence. Let's read that again. The morning swim is such an embellishment of the open-air life that many are tempted to plan their whole expedition with that in view. I could just close the book and say, well spent. I couldn't agree more. That's what this person says. Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. Yeah, something about swimming, especially a morning swim. Graham doesn't only write about bucolic, comfortable days out in the sunshine. He is a fan, as am I, of longer tramps, of a hearty dose of masochism, of misery. Me too. You learn a great deal about yourself on long, difficult journeys. You also discover the true character of any companion who you choose to tackle a challenging tramp with. Graham is full of wisdom on this subject, noting that there is perhaps no greater test of friendship than going on a long tramp, and that you cannot tell until you've spent a night in the rain, or lost the way in the mountains, or eaten all the food, whether you have both stout hearts and a readiness for every fate. Interesting. I have a friend named Chuck Schlossberg. You know, before I pretty much gave up companionship in the wilderness, I used to do this kind of stuff with Chuck. He was that kind of companion. We could eat the food. We could be stuck in the rain. And he was someone that was companionable in that capacity. From my own experiences, I have learned to travel slowly. Measure a tramp by the time taken rather than by the miles. A couple of summers ago, I spent a month walking through northern Spain. It was a journey that felt like the perfect accumulation of all that I had learned from the Gentle Art of Tramping. I lived like a vagrant, sleeping under the stars, on a frugal budget of less than a handful of euros a day. In the whole month I walked a mere 500 miles, a distance I could have covered in a day by bus. It was a magnificent experience, though difficult, but time is always kind to the memory of hungry, uncomfortable nights sleeping on hilltops. Ain't that the truth? Worth reading that again. But time is always kind to the memory of hungry, uncomfortable nights sleeping on hilltops. Yeah, that's so true. Or in the weeds beside a freeway on-ramp with no food, no money, no prospects. 1 or 2 states from home. Here's quoting Graham, nothing in the present ever seems so good as what is past. Wow, that's good. This guy's good. We're just getting little glimpses of it. Just 2-3 paragraphs left. And the modern adventurer would do well also to remember Graham's cautioning against boasting or traveling merely to tell a tale, to show off on social media. Beware of going to Jerusalem, he warns, in order that you may come back and tell the world you have been. It spoils all you found on the way. That's a bit of wisdom that I'd never encountered before. I like that. Take a mental note. I am thrilled that the Gentle Art of Tramping is being shared to a new audience once again. It will provide entertainment, advice, and food for thought for all of us who love getting away from the world out into the peaceful wild places. This book reminds us all that in tramping, you are not earning a living, but earning a happiness. But earning a happiness. Okay, this is Alistair Humphrey, 2018, author of Microadventures, Local Discoveries for Great Escapes. So, Mr. Humphreys, thank you for your foreword. You've left me wanting more from Mr. Stephen Graham. So we'll stop there for tonight. Next chapter is We Set Out. What do you think of my little space here? My daughter put this together for me today. So now that I'm working from home for the situation that's going on around the world, I didn't have a place that was working out in the living room wasn't really conducive to working. Although I was getting a lot done. The dogs bark and people are walking past and stuff. So Emily said, "Dad, let's make you a little space to work." So she put this together for me. Nice read. I'm going to read Walden to remind me of the woods. Maddie, very good. Have you read Walden before, or would this be a reread? I mean, Walden's the kind of book that you can just continue reading. I've kept it by my bedside. I don't now, but I used to keep it by my bedside and read little bits and pieces before bed. I always have some book that I keep by my bedside. For a long time, it was The Grapes of Wrath, the Walden, and Self-Reliance, and right now it's Hawthorne's The House of Seven Gables. Oh, great! Did you already get your copy? Oh, Haliki Food says, "Hi Kurt, hope all is well with the family during these times." Yep, everybody's doing good. We're all pretty much just locked down. Dogs too. You haven't read Walden yet? Be ready for a life-changing experience. It can be tricky to get through, but it's well worth the effort. I'd say. I needed to buy a dictionary to get through it. I used Libby app. Great to use digital library now. Yeah, kudos to you. Also more of a green option, isn't it? Libby app, huh? Is that like Kindle? Well, I think I'm going to sign off for now. I'll talk to you again. Have a good evening. And like I was saying, my little space here, we'll see how to do. I kind of like it. It's very Spartan. It reminds me of something, Thoreau might have in his own cabin, with a simple chair, a simple desk, and some time to read. iOS, have a great week, Kurt. Take care. You too, Maddie. Take care, everybody. Be safe, but not too safe.